Hello friends, my name is Chuck from Visual and I'm here to give you a little bit of training about your virtual reality headset. Some of you might be old enough to remember the ViewMaster, a 3D viewer, kind of a 3D toy from our youth. And a VR headset is kind of like a ViewMaster crossed with a smartphone. Really, a lot about this device is very similar to a smartphone. It is an Android device, but it's a lot simpler, actually. I'm going to talk about the hardware for a second. There are very few buttons on it. There's a power button on the side. There are volume buttons on the bottom, and those are the only buttons on the headset. There's also a USB charging port here. So you plug it in just like you would plug in your smartphone. That cable plugs into the side like that, just like you would plug in a smartphone. And that's how you keep the device charged up. Now, when I plug that in, you can see there's a kind of an orange light there. So that means that it's charging, but it's not yet fully charged. When this light turns green, that means the headset is fully charged and will be good for a couple of hours. If it's really low on power, this light will be red. That means you really have to plug it in before using the headset because it's very low on power at that point. If you're in VR and you've been using it for a while and the power gets really low, the headset will warn you that it's time to take the headset off and plug it in and charge it. So let's just go over a little bit more of the hardware. Of course, the big thing that's different about this compared to a smartphone is that you put it on your head. It's an immersive device that completely surrounds you with 360 content, some of which we filmed for Rise. And the way that you can see that content is there's a couple of lenses in here. Kind of like a pair of glasses. There are two lenses, and that's how you're able to view all of the content on the headset. These lenses are kind of like magnifying glasses, so you don't want to leave them sitting in direct sunlight because if sunlight hits the lenses, that could damage the headset. And the other thing is you want to be gentle with cleaning it. I recommend just using a standard microfiber cloth, dry, just like you would use to clean glasses. You can use that to clean the lenses so you have a clear view of everything there. They can get smudged up, so it's a good idea to use a microfiber cloth to clean those lenses between uses. You don't want to use any soap or water or anything like that. Basically just a dry microfiber cloth is the main thing to use to clean the headset. So that's about it for the headset for now. We'll talk more about it in a second. You can wear it with glasses or without glasses. I find it more comfortable to take my glasses off and I can see fine because I'm nearsighted. But some people can't see the content very well without glasses. So unless you have really big glasses, they should fit in the headset just fine. So let's talk a little bit about the controllers. There are a couple of controllers here. They look strange. They have a lot of buttons on them because they're used in video games. For what we're doing, we really only need one controller. There is a left one and a right one. So if you're left-handed or right-handed, pick the controller that matches your hand. You'll see it does say there's an R for the right-handed controller and an L for the left-handed controller. I'm right-handed, so I'm just going to put it in my right hand. You want to put it in your hand so that this loop is facing up. There is a trigger here, and that's how you want to be holding it so that your index finger is resting on that trigger on the front of the controller. So you can think of this as your mouse. If this was a computer, this controller is how you're going to choose things to do in VR. And this trigger button is your mouse button. This is how you click and select something. So you could point at an app you wanna run and pull the trigger button, and that's how you select something. It's kind of, when you're in VR, you can see these controllers, and they're kind of like laser pointers. So wherever you point them, you'll see a white beam of light, and that's how you can point at things that you want to select. So let's tap that power button and get into VR. So it is basically waiting for me to put it on right now. I'm going to take my glasses off. You may leave yours on. And the way I put it on is basically headset first. Act like you're putting on a pair of ski goggles or something like that. Put this over your face and then pull the strap down over your head. Your strap might look different than mine. You probably have Velcro straps. And once you get it onto your head, you can adjust those straps and tighten it so that it feels snug but comfortable. Take a minute to kind of move it around a little bit on your face and find that sweet spot where things look clear. And then you can tighten it up a little bit more if you want. Now, I like to have my controller, on a desk or table nearby within reach, so you're not kind of trying to find that controller once you're in VR, because this is how we're going to select things. So now that we're in VR, you should see, you'll actually see a little black and white video of everything around you, and you'll see a little pop-up box that says Guardian Not Found. Please create a new Guardian boundary for your area. And there's a big blue button there that says Create Guardian. What the Guardian is a way to tell the headset what your physical environment looks like, so you don't bump into walls and furniture and such. Since we're not going to be doing anything fancy, like, we're not going to be walking around and playing a game for this application with Rise, we can basically just create a stationary boundary that assumes that you're sitting in a chair, or standing if you prefer. So let's just go through creating this Guardian. We're kind of going to do the simplest version possible of it. As you can see, there is that white kind of laser pointer coming out of the controller. And there's a little white dot that shows you exactly what you're pointing at. So you can tell when you're pointing at the blue button that says Create Guardian, because that white dot is right over it. You can see it changes color a little bit. Now we're going to pull this trigger button to select that. So I'm going to pull the trigger button, Create Guardian. Now it's going to try to figure out what level your floor is at. If you're at a desk like I am, it's going to get it kind of wrong. It's going to think the desk is the floor. That's fine. For the videos that we're going to be watching, it doesn't really matter. If you're playing a game or doing something else, you would want to set the floor to be the correct height. But we're just going to say confirm, and now it's going to ask you to define the play area. Again, if we were playing a video game, we would want to define our environment, but we're just going to play it, use this as a stationary situation. So you want to go down here and point that switch to stationary boundary, pull the trigger, and it's going to ask you to confirm stationary boundary. There it shows a guy sitting in a chair comfortably. That's us. So just go ahead and hit confirm. And now it's going to take us to the Oculus home environment. We're now at your home screen, which will have all kinds of things that you can do, but we want to get you right to the Rise job training videos. So if you look down at your application bar, sort of floating below the main menu there, you'll see some icons, and you want to go all the way to the right where it says apps, a little grid of white dots that says apps. Pull the trigger button and you will see the apps that are installed on this headset. And what you want to do is look for this friendly pig. It's called Pegasus VR Media Player. So look for Pegasus and point your controller at it and pull that trigger button, and that will open this media player app that has a fun little pig as its icon. Okay. And so we've already made these videos favorites. So you want to select favorites, just point at it and pull the trigger. And here are the
library of VR work simulations that we produced with Rise. So you can see right now we see 3. It could grow in the future, but just pull the right trigger on the video you want to watch.
Welcome.
And
we're so excited to have you. Today we'll begin by doing
start
a
playing
tour
for
of
you.
the office building.
I want to pause here. At this point, you can put your controller down and just sit back and watch the video, and you can turn your head and look all around the scene as Sam here will guide you through these different experiences. If you pull the trigger button, you'll get a little control bar that lets you pause or play the video. You can also switch to the previous or next video. And if you click in this bar here, you can rewind or fast forward too. So if you miss something, you can point at this control bar and just go back it up or go back to the beginning if you want, and then just hit play. If you
Welcome. We're so excited
pull
to
the
have
trigger
you.
again, the menu
Today
will go
we'll begin
away.
by doing a tour of the office building. We'll introduce.
Yeah, so if you pull the trigger pointing away from these controls, they'll disappear for you and get out of your way. Over here on the far left where it says media, you can click that if you want to pull up the library of videos and jump to a different video that way. And
see some coworkers.
And if you want to quit the app and you're all done, on your controller, there's an Oculus button. Click the Oculus button. If you click and hold the Oculus button, that will ask you if you want to quit this media player or resume. And so if you're done, you don't have to quit, but if you want to quit or you want to do something else, then you can choose quit here, and that will take you back to the home menu. And that's it. So I hope you have a good time in VR. Certainly, once you do that, it'll get easier for you. And then there's other fun things to do as well. So hope you enjoy the experience.